let's be honest. If the Sixers are healthy, I'm going to take them over the Cavs.
Stop it.
But this is the same night you were talking about believing in the Cavs now.
No, but I'm asking you, Ernie.
No. I don't think.
I'm just going to say this.
They haven't proven they're better than Cleveland.
They're on pace to win 72 games.
The Cleveland Cavaliers just continue to click on all cylinders, and it's not just one guy. That's what makes this team a true title contender. The Cavs are now the first team in the NBA to reach 30 wins, and I cannot wait for the upcoming game against the Thunder on Wednesday. And finally, this team will get to play on ESPN on the national stage. The Cavs officially have swept their 4-game road trip out west. They beat the Lakers on New Year's Eve, and then they just handled the Dallas Mavericks. And even though Luka and Kyrie did not play, the Cavs from the jump threw punches right away and really established their dominance, not letting the Mavs get any sense of hope for the entire 48 minutes. Caris Levert was spectacular off the bench, G-Wagon provided a huge spark, and then Evan Mobley has become exactly what we hoped he would develop into a few years ago when the Cavs drafted him. He's always been a disruptor defensively, but now he has completely figured out things on the offensive end as well. And he has just turned into this relentless, aggressive player that nobody wants to deal with. Evan Mobley is an all-star, Jarrett Allen is an all-star, Darius Garland is an all-star, and then Mitchell, of course, is as well. Please vote. The initial all-star ballot releases were a complete joke, but I know there's only so much we can all do as a smaller market when Warriors fans are still going to give Jordan Poole millions of votes on the 5-win Wizards. But end of the day, who cares about all that? The Cavs have 30 wins before 5 losses. They are beating everyone that comes in their way, and I want to talk all about it. But first, before I get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so first things first, let's talk Evan Mobley. I know it's pretty obvious, but when he is knocking down the 3 ball, you can't guard him. And he has been so consistent over the last few weeks. He's not only knocking down in rhythm 3s, but he's also created his own shots. And he's even faking 3s to get inside to create a good look for himself, or he will kick it out to the corner. And we've seen guys like Niang, Merrill, and Levert really benefit from it. I think going 4-0 on this West Coast road trip really shut up some of the haters. Well, not really, because I can't believe what Charles Barkley said, but you can't really take what Inside the NBA says about basketball seriously. The only thing that show is useful for is hilarious moments. And Barkley also played for Philly, so it's whatever. But I still can't believe what he said came out of his mouth. Anyways, moving on, let's talk Caris Levert, because what he has done off the bench has really made the Cavs the deepest team in the league. And his playmaking and the way he gets the other guys off the bench involved really has made everyone better. Like, I've never seen George Niang play such a confident brand of basketball, and once Max Strus finds his stroke, man, this will be the best bench in the league by far. And looking at the stat sheet, I guess I really didn't notice Ty Jerome in this game, but he had a quiet 9 points in 19 minutes on 3 of 5 shooting. And that's just what these guys do, man. They get each other involved. 3 or 4 guys have these quiet 8 to 10 point games every night, and that is the difference between this year's team and what we saw last year. Last season, it was 2 or 3 guys expected to do all the scoring, and Mobley basically had to carry the defense, and this year, everyone is contributing so much to the point where when Donovan Mitchell wants to take his foot off the gas pedal, he can, and we saw it tonight. The thing that has really surprised me the most about Caris Levert is his 3-point shooting. I don't think I knew he had it in him to shoot close to 50% from behind the arc, because usually every now and then, he will have a super cold game where he can't throw a rock into the ocean if he tried, but he's been hot, and I think the main improvement has been shot selection, and also the bigs finding him when he's wide open, because this version of Caris Levert is an NBA starter on every team except for this one. And he could start on this one, don't get me wrong, but he is a great fit off the bench and always provides the spark this team needs. And on top of what he's been doing offensively, the defensive side of the ball is where he has been ultra effective. I think a few weeks ago there was a stat that came out showing how when he is the main defender, his opponent's shot percentage was one of the lowest in the entire league. Stats like that go completely overlooked, nobody ever pays attention to them, but that's where his true impact comes to play outside of what he does with the ball. And then when healthy, when you put Isaac Okoro alongside him for 10 to 15 minutes a game, that really wears down opposing guards to the point where they use all their energy trying to score. And then they have nothing left on the defensive end, and Garland and Mitchell are able to feast on it. And then a guy who floats around in both the starting lineup and the bench, who has secretly been the Cavs' X factor this season, is Dean Wade. The dude is just a killer. That dunk he had driving in from the corner was nasty, and he's been so efficient from behind the arc. This is his breakout season. He provides so much length to throw at an opponent on top of what Allen and Mobley provide, and this may be a stretch, but he might be the main glue guy of this team. He's just one of those guys that makes everything work. And now for the core four, I gotta once again give Jarrett Allen his flowers, because sometimes I will see him get criticized from time to time, and he's the guy that allows Evan Mobley to be Evan Mobley. And that sequence in the fourth quarter where he met Lively at the rim for an insane block and then ran back in transition and threw down the lob from Mobley, I think that was a great way to kind of cap off the way he has played throughout this 4-game road trip. And then Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell have both been really good. I know I'm basically just saying that everyone has been really good, but that's really all I can even say. This team just won't lose, and everyone has been contributing in all phases. One thing that has stood out to me about Garland is his defense and how he has been reading passing lanes. I know he is definitely not a guy known for defense. In fact, throughout the early part of his career, he was a liability on that end, but there have been times this season where he has met a 4 or even a 5 at the rim and forced a miss. And every time I look at the stat sheet after a win, he has 1 or 2 steals. So what he has been defensively has been a pleasant surprise. And then on the offensive end, he has pretty much been able to do whatever he's wanted. He's playing with full confidence, he's making plays for his teammates, and the floater game that we saw back in the 7-foot-tall lineup days is officially back. Nobody really knows how to guard him because he's gonna make that floater 90% of the time. But if you step up to guard it, then he has a free lob to Mobley or Allen. And then Donovan Mitchell, like I said, he has not really had to do anything. He's been in complete coast mode, but when he has to step up and make plays, he has. For example, in that Lakers game, he had that stretch where he hit 3 or 4 big threes to get the Cavs back in control of the game. And way back to that Boston home game, he was the one that took over and won the game. I don't think anyone is worried about him in the slightest, and I'm happy he has been able to take on less of a workload. That is going to keep him healthy for when things really matter in the playoffs. And then also congrats to Kenny Atkinson for winning Coach of the Month in back-to-back months. Completely deserved, and we saw him once again make some great adjustments because there was a point after a Cavaliers when the Mavs started to creep back into the game. I think they cut the lead to 19, and as always, Kenny instantly called a timeout to let the guys regroup. And then out of the timeout, they found their rhythm. That's really all I have to say for this video. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews.
It's all through wins and losses. It is what it is. We always want to win games. You want to learn through wins, and I think we have. But I think the biggest thing is we did a lot of positive things throughout these 4 wins. It wasn't so much about just winning the game. It's like how we won, the ways we won. We did it 4 different ways. I think that's what you're starting to see, whether it's Golden State, they're a little physical, Denver coming out strong, the Lakers back and forth throughout the whole game, and then tonight, keeping the lead, kind of messing up a little bit, figuring it out at the end of a road trip. We're all tired. So it's just how we're winning. I think that's how I evaluate. That's how we evaluate it. We go out and expect to win every game, but my biggest thing was always, like you said, learn through the wins and continue to build good habits, and that's what you're starting to see.
Did you think that was going in, your shot?
I did. It felt good leaving my hands. It felt really good. I've been a little unlucky on some layups on this trip, so I was due for one.
That was some self-awareness on your part.
Could you see the rim?
I saw it before I got hit. And then God did the rest, I guess.
Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video. If you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.